Welcome to my round 3 game of GPK. I'm playing against AdmiralIvy, who's on Orzhov control, I think. What? Okay, I'm slightly lagging, I guess. Anyways, yeah, let's go. So, roll for first. That's a good sign for me. And let's see. So, yep, that's a good sign for me. That's an excellent hand. Hopefully, well, if they have hand attack, it's still fine because, I mean, turn 1, I ramp into 3 mana next turn. If they hand attack me, I just play out bow and then start exiling stuff. And they have the mull to 6 too, so I think I'm really favoring this game right now. Like, what can they do to stop me? Do they have 1 mana discard? They don't. Yeah, so I don't think they can stop the turn 2 Recalcigon Aeons. And okay, they're mulling to 6, they're still deciding. Well, if they're taking this long, I think it's a good sign because that means their hand isn't a snap keep on 6. So they're thinking about what to mulligan down to, or they're thinking about what to bottom, I think. If they have to mull down to 5, then that's really not good for them. And so I'm thinking about what they can do to stop me. Like, what do I lose to here? I guess if I don't draw into anything super great, then eventually they overcome me. But like, yeah, I don't see what they're doing against me. Okay, they keep. Wonderful. So we're gonna have game. Logger Recluse, Crumbling Shrine. And Revealing a Forest. Wonderful. So next turn I'm fetching an island and playing Recall. And playing in a forest. So basically the perfect start for my deck. Maybe Tamiel's slightly better. Okay, target bargain, that doesn't do anything against me. So I think Car is coming in post-board because they have a bunch of random enchantments flying around. Okay, Charge of Vast, that's what I'm going to play after Recalcigon Aeons, I guess. But anyways, Island, Recalcigon Aeons. They can't stop me. If they have drawn into a land, then I get to play Laga Recluse and drop into land again. Man, this is absolutely disgusting. And then afterwards, I get to recharge the Vast. I guess next turn, if they try to hand attack me, they can take the Charge Vast, but then I have 2 Loggers plus a Bowl in the back. And the 2 Loggers are swinging for 3 each turn. I guess afterwards, I guess they can try to wipe the board. Does that mean I should not play out the Bowl first? What board wipes do they have? End of Days. That costs way too much right now. Balance of Descent doesn't really do much. Yeah, I think I'm pretty safe. I think Wave of Decay is the only thing that really hurts me that much, but costs too much. So yeah, so I'm on 5 mana. They have 2 mana this turn. That really shows difference between my deck and their deck. At least I get an easy game 1 win. At least I hope it's going to be an easy game 1 win. They even have to sack Dark Bark. Okay, so they're stuck on land. That's really not good for them, because if they can't hand attack me this turn, then I guess get to chart the Vast and draw like 5 cards or something. Mysterious Calyrex, probably fetching the thing that makes my basics tap for blue. They draw again with Dark Bargain. Yeah, that's a really slow start from them and not great for them. Tamiel lets me draw 3. Is that better than... Okay, what? You play out Tamiel and then pump these 2 guys and yeah, play Tamiel, draw 3, and right? No, I can't pump both of them. I can play bowl, pump both of them, and swing for 6 in total. I mean, so I forced them to deal with the board first. Now, what I want to do? Like, do I just want to snap off Charge of Vast because I don't want to get hand attacked just yet? I can also just play out Tamiel on tap and then swing with both of these guys. That feels like the worst option, though. Or is it? Like, what do they have to deal with Tamiel plus these 2 guys? Nothing, right? Yeah, so if they hand attack me, then these guys are still alive, and Tamiel's probably still alive. Alright, yeah, sure, I'll just go for that option then. So, play this guy, fetch out Seaside Grotto, play untapped. So now all my forests are tapping for blue also. And next turn I can actually just Recalcigon Aeons if I draw a land, or if Tamiel survives. So yeah, really good for me, or looking really good for me. Tamiel, go up to 4, and tap this guy. See, forest on top. Yeah, sure, I'll keep it on top so I can Recalcigon Aeons next turn. But anyways, pump the Logger Recluses, swing for 6. They're also losing life to draw cards, so yeah, putting pressure on them is pretty good. They can get Sandrine's Command, but like what? They force me to sack one of my loggers, gain 5 life. That doesn't really stop me. So, like, they don't really have any good options right now. Do they have Violent Collapse main? No, they don't. Okay, yeah, I don't see how they're getting out of this. Does the Children on 2 do that? The Children of the Clouds for 2? Blocks for turn, but no, doesn't really do anything. I think, yeah, I just got an insane draw this game, and they got pretty slow draw. And that's how they get you. So a pretty unfortunate game for them, actually. Even if they deal with my board, I can still animate Crumbling Shrine and start attacking, I guess. If they deal with my board, I'm just going to recall Forgotten Aeons, coalesce it, draw some cards, make them deal with the big thing, and then eventually I drop a Chart to Vast with enough mana to play something that I draw off of it. I don't see how I'm losing this game. If they're doing something and they're drawing with Dark Bargain, yet they're just desperate now. I top deck Layer and Alpha. I can manage Tamiel, draw 3 cards. There is a chance to top deck Layer and Alpha off of that, I think. And if I top deck Layer and Alpha, then I don't actually win right away because I still have to pump the loggers. And or they're also stuck on land because yeah, they cracked Dark Bargain to try to draw into a land. And okay, they get a swamp, but they do have their third land. They're not land screwed, or they didn't miss land drop or anything. Unfortunately, even though they didn't miss any land drops, there's still 3 lands against my soon-to-be 7 lands. And they just pass. So what can they be holding up? Or are they holding up anything? I think Event Horizon is the most obvious thing that they could be holding up. What else do they have? Instant speed. Children, that doesn't do much. Invalidate. Maybe they catch me with Invalidate or something. That'd be funny, at least, if they invalidate the Recall Forgotten Aeons. In that case, I just draw with Tamio. Maybe I do, just like draw with Tamio, get out of the way. Draw 3, discard 1. That's pretty good value. And then maybe find something else to play. Like pump the loggers and also play something else. I should be just trying to attack and pump the loggers this turn because it brings them down to 3, which puts them in pretty dangerous range of something. If I'm doing that, I need 4 mana this turn, so I can spend, what? I have 7 mana total, 7 or 8. So I either have 3 or 4 mana to spend this turn. Tamio could probably draw into a 3-drop. So yeah, I'll just minus Tamio right now. Or if I minus Tamio and they Event Horizon response, I only get to draw 2, discard 1. Now that's fine because that means they wasted an Event Horizon. And then now I just get to attack my loggers and play the Sack Bowl into the Wrath. Okay, well, either way, I'm Tamio minusing. Let's see what they do against that. You want the Event Horizon now? I mean, if you do that, then I guess you don't have an answer for... Alright, never mind, I got exactly what I need. I think I'll pitch Wayfarer Shrine here because... I mean, I do want more lands, but like all these cards are really good, so I'll pitch this most useless card. I can put Primal on Forest and play Pronouncer. Do I want to go for a white board? I don't think I do because they have wipes, right? Like, what wipes do they have on 4? Flesh to Rot, huh? Did you play Flesh to Rot? Does that just stall my advance for a really long time? Yes, it does. How did I play on Flesh to Rot then? I need a pretty big sack bowl to do that. So I think my plan here is to pump loggers and play a big sack bowl. Can I do that? So Crumbling Shrine for the Primal Resurgence. So that's 1, 2. So that's sack bowl, and then I can't pump both loggers and also get a big sack bowl. But I can. Pronouncer doesn't really help that much here. Okay, maybe attack with 1 logger and play a big sack bowl. Yeah, that's probably the best way to play around Flesh to Rot. So I'll do that. Except I don't actually get 2 sack bowl activations because of the way the mana works out, right? Or no, I do. Okay, good. So I'm only attack with 1 of these guys. Attacking it like this. Let's see what they do against it. No blocks? Sure. You take 3. And then I'll play out Sack Bowl. Let's see what they do against this. There is enough lands to exile, right? Yeah, there is. It resolves. And I think I just realized that if I really wanted to play on Flesh Rot, I could just recall Forgotten Aeons. Yeah, I think I sort of played myself here. I should have just tried to spam the board with Pronouncers and the Primal Resurgence and also Pump Loggers. Like, I had enough mana to do that if I went Pronouncer Primal, right? So play Pronouncer, play Primal, and tap the land. That's 4 mana, so that's enough to pump both loggers. Yeah, I could have done that. And instead, now I don't have lethal if they use 2 removal spells on me. Body? Yeah, it did. Yeah, then exile the bowl. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess I'll exile... What? Sure, I'll exile 1 thing, and then back the bowl to itself, so that's 3 life for me. But yeah, I played myself there. I mean, I'm still really far ahead because if Tamil survives, now Primal Resurgence is making me, or this thing's making me 4 mana, and then, what, that's 10 mana in total? That's enough to coalesce, recall, and play something else, or enough to chart and play 2 things that I get off of it. Or if I find a Pronouncer or another Primal Resurgence off the chart, then I can actually just go up in mana and play the layer on alpha that comes afterwards. That said, though, if they have Flesh to Rot here, then I'm not in a great spot, but they don't. So what can they have? Children of the Clouds, Loshan's Command. They ran alpha off the top. Nice. So this thing, Loshan does wreck Lyran's alpha, I think. Not wreck, but it's not great for against or if I play Lyran and they play that. So I think it's better for me to chart the Vast here and see what I get off the top. And yeah, let's just start charting. Resolves, yeah. Alright, let's see. I'll take chart number 2, right? Or Pale Scouter. That thing survives Flesh to Rot. I'll take the second chart because that's a more unique mana cost. And, well, that's not great. Hopefully I don't run into more whiffs like this. Okay, Pronouncer, that's good. That goes up in mana, or it's mana neutral right now. And, okay, that's a whiff. Unfortunate. I mean, chart for 4 is still great, but, I mean, 5 mana draw 4 is still decent, but it could have been great. So if I try to spam the board and they go for Flesh to Rot, what happens? I just coalesce Recall Forgotten Aeons next turn. And then once Flesh to Rot goes down to 1 counter, I just slam Lyran off and swing. So right now I just spam the board with Pronouncer Preserves. Right. Actually, I can Tamio the Forest, like Tamio, and then swing with both of these guys. Do I need to play out more Pronouncers into the sweeper? I don't think I do. Like these guys are enough to get there on their own, I think. Like there's no downsides to playing the Pronouncers out, right? Yeah, so I'll play Wayfarer Shrine just to thin my deck a tiny bit more. And a Tamio on top, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 mana. Do I want to chart again? No, that's stupid. With Tamio on top, swing with both of these guys. They play children. Maybe I should have attacked first. Well, whatever. So 1, 2, a Tamio pluses. Let's see what's on top. New divide. I don't want that. Play out the Pronouncer preserves. Resolves. And make the land aura. They play out the second Pronouncer too. Yeah, sure, why not? Like, if they have a sweeper, then good for them. If they don't, then they lose. So, anyways, I'd have to sack both of these land auras now, though, right? Well, not right now. I can swing with both Logger Recluses and see what they do. Okay, they're finally going to play something. It is going to be Shan's command before I pump the Loggers. Or, no, it's going to be Children's, isn't it? Like, they have to use Children's to survive. Okay, yeah, that's fine. X equals 3. Right, they can do that. So if they put all the birds on one logger, then whatever. Do I need to pump loggers right now? If I don't pump loggers, then how much mana do I have next turn? I have 6. That's enough for later on alpha. And the only thing that could stop me is the Chartavast, or I mean, Shan's command, which doesn't even do much. I mean, I already have enough mana, right? I can just afford to use up one of the land auras to kill one of the birds. Or do I want to do that? Like, how much damage are these guys preventing compared to how much I'm making off these? Yeah. I'll just let through. No, it kills Tamio if I don't pump all of these. Okay, sure. So I'll just kill one of the birds, I guess. And that is my turn, right? Yeah, that was... I feel like I definitely could have played this game better because I got off a superly fast start and then I kind of threw away my advantage by trying to play around stuff that they didn't have. Or not even play around stuff, like play around stuff that they didn't have and that I could have played around anyways with Recalphragon Aeons from the yard. But like now it's Flesh to Rot or Bust, and if they play Flesh to Rot, then the birds die and Tamio isn't dealt with. And then I just get to recall Forgotten Aeons from yard, and then see what I draw after that. They're gonna try to kill Tamio, right? Yeah, Tamio goes down to 1, but that's fine. I don't need more card draw from Tamio right now. If they kill Tamio, then that's slightly less fine, but I still have tons of mana from the land aura from before. So do they have the board wipe? End of days. Okay, yeah, sure. Then why did they attack Tamio if they're gonna kill it anyways? Wait, crap, it kills my land auras too. Ah, well, that's... Actually, no, that's not a problem. I can just play later on off a hard cast. And, like, unless they have another board wipe, they kind of just lose. So 8 mana this turn. Unfortunately, not enough to play... Oh, you know, it is enough to play Pal Scatter plus Leyran, but is there a point in doing that? Not really, because Leyran already puts them dead to a board wipe, or forces them to have a board wipe, so there's no point in playing more stuff onto the board, right? Although I can put an aura on something and then... Does Recall get better next turn? I should just try to spend all my mana. I think that's probably the best logic here. I already have so much I can do. Actually, no, this thing does die to Flesh Rot too. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Well, anyways, too late to change my mind. And Leyran still survives a Flesh to Rot. So yeah, anyways, have fun with Leyran Alpha. And yeah, these guys even get counters, so it's board wipe or bust. If they board wipe me, I just play out Recalphragon Aeons. So they need the board wipe plus a hand attack to stop me because I also have Chart of Vast, which is going to draw a bunch of cards eventually. Okay, is it another end of days? Okay, yeah, probably shouldn't have played out both of these guys then. Do I have enough for Chart into Leyran? I don't think so. I can't really afford to give them time because if I coalesce Recalphragon Aeons and don't have another thing to drop and they remove it, then what? I'm not looking that great. 9 mana, so Chart into a 4 into 2/2 mana stuffs. Let them untap with too much lands, then as long as I have more stuff in hand than them, I think I should be fine. So yeah, I will go for chart. And let's see what I get off the chart. Hopefully I get a good chart. There on alpha, that's a good start. That's going to be very scary next turn. Down on the is kind of useless. Recall is not great. Hellscar is actually okay because it prevents a threat, right? Like they're really low right now. They kind of need to... Also, the 3-drop slot's really contested, but I really don't want to take stand unassailable, and I don't need another recall, so I'll take Pale Scatter. Well then, that's 2 Womp Womp charts in a row. Okay, I just take another Leyran Alpha. Like, they can't deal with too many Leyran Alphas, unless they get a Flesh to Rot, but I'm just hoping they don't get a Flesh to Rot, and I'm hoping that is enough to save me. But this is actually kind of bad, because now I have to play out Pale Scatter, which dies to removal, and I don't get to do anything with the extra mana it makes. Spell Scour, make a mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's not enough to play 2 Leyran Alphas next turn, but that is enough mana to play Leyran plus Tamio, which might get there. So yeah, hoping that it goes distance then. Actually, maybe I should have animated Crumbling Shrine instead. Perhaps. So what big stuff can they do to stop me? Because now they're like going into the high end. Bell's Descent. How much does that screw me over? If they play Bell's Descent, they don't have enough to hold up any more removal, so I just slam the Leyran Alpha and win. Or, I just recall Forgotten Aeons. Actually, I think the play here is, or next turn is, assuming nothing goes wrong, is Leyran plus Tamil minus. Because get to Leyran on board and draws me 4 cards, discard 1. That's good card selection. What does Bell's Descent do again? Does it also kill lands? No, it doesn't kill lands. Okay, that's good. They play Silent Middle tap. I think they probably don't have any more options. So Chandrine's command, Heraldry. Okay, I mean that's still fine. That doesn't stop a bunch of Leyran Alphas because those things go wide. So yeah, okay, that it doesn't really matter. Okay, so can they turn into a creature on my turn? They probably can. 2 Heraldries? Oh, okay, that's a problem now. But is there a way around this? Does 2 Leyran Alphas get there? Yes. Okay, do I have enough mana for 2 Leyran Alphas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm 1 off. That's really unfortunate. And once they start attacking the Heraldries, I can't really beat them that well. What do I need to win here? I need to make a stupid amount of mana. 2 Heraldries. And I kind of just messed this game up because I didn't finish the game when I could have. I tried to play around Flesh to Rot that they didn't have. Alright, so Tamil does draw 4. Now what can I draw into that would help me here? The Pale CR can get really big, which gains them a bunch of life off Heraldry, which is not good. Can I just recall Forgotten Aeons a bunch and try to see what I get? Like, do I have any ways to kill these Heraldries? Really, I don't. That's a problem. Deck has no main deck removal. So what do I do here? I recall, hope to hit something good. And then what? Tamio something. If the Leyran's down, they're still kind of forced to block because and they can't really attack with both of these guys because then I just drop Leyrans and start attacking them. Okay, I'll play Recall Forgotten Aeons first and see what I draw off that. Primal Resurgence, okay, good. I need more Primal Resurgences so I can stick all of them onto a single land and make a bunch of mana that way. Unfortunately, right now, it's not looking good for me because Tamio, Shifting Blade, Primal Resurgence, how many land plays do I have remaining again? 2, right? Yeah, so Shifting Blade, Mysterious Power, I play Tamio minus her. I mean, that's enough mana to play 2 Leyran Alphas next turn. I just have to survive 1 turn. In that case, I'll tap out for Tamil right now and minus her. Right. Yeah, Tamil minus, draw 4 cards, discard 1 card. What card do I discard? One of the lands, Mysterious Character, unnecessary. So Shifting Blade for Crumbling Shrine. Or no, Shifting Blade, Mysterious Character, stick the Primal Resurgence onto the forest. I just want to maximize the amount of mana I'm getting next turn. And like the play here is to go wide and tall at the same time, which my deck can do. Two Pronouncers are dead right now. That doesn't really matter. Maybe I want to get the Sack Bowls out. No, I want to get the Primal Resurgence out because that's more mana for next turn. I want to get the Leyrans down as soon as possible. A Sack Bowl probably doesn't really matter right now. I want to get Crumbling Shrine down instead. Nah, Crumbling Shrine can wait, right? Yeah, hopefully. I'm almost out of lands in my deck too, or Fetch Bowls at least. Anyways, 2 Primal Resurgences onto the forest, and pass the turn. How many Tamils do I have left? I have 2 left, okay. My plan is to get all Leyran's Alphas into play and swing with everything, because that only gains them 4 life, and if the board's wide enough, then all the wolves hit, and then now they have a super scary board to deal with next turn, and hopefully they don't have the board wipe to deal with it. How many board wipes do they even have? They already used both End of Days. They still have Flesh to Rot, but that means the Heraldries die, so unless they turn Heraldries into enchantments when they play Flesh to Rot, then that means Heraldries are offline for a turn. It doesn't really help me, but it's something I can consider. They just concede. Alright, sure, I guess they had nothing. I don't think I really deserved to win that game, because, I should have won that game way easier if I didn't play badly. Going to the post board, I definitely need to bring in these guys to deal with Car. How active is Car? That last game, there was hardly anything on board. But maybe my opponent just got a bad draw. Actually, no, all of their enchantments are either stuff that doesn't stick around for very long or are expensive. So no, Car's not good here. Sack Bowl, does that really do much? It gets rid of Descend, and that's kind of it. Okay, I should look at their sideboard though. And they have way more enchantments. Descend, Prior Inquiry. Is Car good if against the board? Maybe. Dagway, I mean, Diagrade is in there for enchantments, but I don't know how good it is specifically. I mean, if I can bottom a 4-mana enchantment, what 4-mana enchantments do they have that would be worth, or not bottoming, but like, I guess, topping? Flesh of Rot is the only one that really seems worth it. Reflect on Serenity, maybe that too, but not great. And Diagrade's never going to hit a Heraldry. Maybe Cards is better there. Anyway, Standalone Stable is useless. We already decided that Sackbowl is useless right now. Is this the loadout I'm going with? And Pronouncers are kind of bad into Flesh of Rots. And Pronouncers is bad into board wipes in general, but so is the rest of my deck. Repel Scour is alright into board wipes. Maybe I just do cut Pronouncers here, and Sackbowl is also bad into board wipes. Like, cut these guys, go with these guys? That has to be wrong, right? But maybe it is right, because chart now has way better chances of going long. I mean, I'm up a game. I can afford to try this loadout and see how it goes. It probably won't go that well, but maybe it gets there anyways. I mean, like, resolving Car against them and minusing on one of their lands or Heraldry. I mean, Car is there to kill Heraldry, basically, right? No, it can't kill Heraldry either if it turns into a creature. I mean, Kara and Diagrade is in there to kill Heraldries if they drop it early without a non-creature spell to turn it on. Alright, so game 2, I'm on the draw. That's not great, so I'll mulligan. It's still not great, but no, it's too slow, right? Like, no way I'm going to resolve any of these guys before I get hand attacked, so I'll go down to this guy, and sure, I'll keep that. The Leyland plus a land, that's what I'm bottoming, right? Do I want fetch lands? No, I don't, because I already cut all my sack bows, and I want them to get free value off Long Forgotten. So I bottom like this. If I do draw a top land, though, then I can finally stick the Primary Surgeons on the island I'm fetching off this. Because I do want to stick Primary Surgeons on islands if possible, since that works better with untappers. That means I get to make blue with untappers. Although I also cut all my pronouncers, so I'm kind of down on untappers too. Dark Bargain, sure. That's just card bait, assuming that I ever get to that much mana. We can Primary Surgeons wait, and the answer is no, because maybe I draw a 3-drop. Or maybe I top deck a 3-drop and I need to play it, so yes, always play out your ramp if able. Labor Ambitions would be really bad for me because that means I'm on top deck mode. Helene minus. So if I ever get to play Helene next turn or next turn, do I minus or plus her? I think I have to minus her because that way protects her against removal. And if the minus eats up some random 1-cost thing, then at least 8 up a random 1-cost thing. But like Helene minus means that they can no longer jam Heraldry, although they can't anyways because they don't have the right mana. Does this Labor Ambition? No, it's Embodied Soul. Alright, that's not great either. And this is also not great. Alright, I'm gonna be thinning my deck now. But like if they drop a bunch of random permanents and then I top deck a card and can play it, then I think that can probably swing the game. Card Embodied Soul seems really good, assuming the game ever gets there. So that does mean that I'm kind of forced to Helene Plus, which doesn't do much. The Helene Mana still does something by kind of being a proactive way to counter something. A 4-mana counter spell isn't what I want, though. That means that they don't really want to play anything into Embodied Soul because that means it gets countered or something. They're holding stuff up. Probably Sandrine's Command. Anyways, I'm fetching now. And please don't be a land. Logger Recluse. That's kind of useless right now. It does protect Helene, but I need to play out Helene first. And like playing Logger just blank here is really bad. Sandrine actually gets Helene, right? Yeah, Helene, if I play Sandrine, then... Or if I play Helene, Helene's a creature, so Sandrine kills her. I need to place Helene and minus her immediately, which means the body cell probably gets to kill her. Is that alright? No, that's not alright. That's really bad. Do you have any other better options? No, because I don't want to play Logger Recluse on 3 and pass. Or 4 in this case. Yes, I'm forced to play Helene here. And I think I'm forced to minus her so that I don't lose super hard to Sandrine's Command. They're thinking. Alright, so... Oh, they're using a counter spell. Then that's actually really good for me because that means they manage to, or Helene managed to eat up a counter spell instead of a Sandrine's Command, which also gets Admiral some extra value. Resolves, alright. I am forced to minus Helene, though. If they want to pop the stats by playing some random 1-mana spell, what do they actually have? They don't actually have instant speed 1-mana spells, so they would have to crack it on their turn. And Embodied Soul actually needs to get 2 counters before it can start killing Helene. So like Helene does trade 1 for one of their random spells. I mean it's a 1 mana, so like Helene's going down 3 mana if I in that trade, but I have a lot of mana, so I can afford to go down mana in trades. Okay, are they gonna do anything end of turn to just crack the stance? I mean, good top decks here would be Chartavast, obviously. Leyland's kind of slow. I mean, anything else is probably a decent top deck. Diagrade bombs the Embodied Soul and lets me surveil a bunch. So what are bad top decks here? Ramp, obviously. Lands, obviously too. Like there's actually not that many bad top decks for me. Primary Surgeons is a bad top deck right now, even though it usually is always good, just because it extra mana. So it seems like AdmiralIvy's thinking about whether they want to crack the stance or not. They are, okay. With Chandrine's, okay, that's a really expensive way to crack the stance. Guess they just really want to kill Helene. Is that a good trade? Yes, it is, because if I didn't do that, then Chandrine's command just straight up kills Helene and fetches Admiral some extra goodies. Here, Admiral has to spend 1 mana on Embodied Soul, and they might be stuck on white mana, so it makes it awkward for them, and they're forced to swing into Helene this turn to kill her. Okay, Summit Meadow, playing it tapped. Labor Ambitions. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. Actually, no, it's bad, because now Recall Forgotten Aeons, it's bad. But, I mean, all I got is a Logger Recluse, so, like, that's not the worst thing in the world. But that means I have nothing next turn if I top deck a land, which is not great. So, like, I really need to not top deck a land here. The good news about Chart of Acid is that it goes through Labor Ambitions. Like, if I draw Recall Forgotten Aeons, do I play it just to crack Labor? Great, so Kara is not playable right now, right? Yeah, it's 1 off. Anyways, what do I top deck? Crumbling Shrine is not great, so I'm forced to play it here, and Primary Surgeon's top is useless. So I guess I'm going to be animating Crumbling Shrine this turn, because at least it's an attacker. And maybe they forget that I can do that, and they let me get a free attack through. Or I just top deck a Leyran Alpha next turn, or whatever. Leyran Chart. Kara is actually good now, because I can actually play it. Kara minus on Embodied, so it seems really nice. Or do I want to Kara minus on Sunlit Middle? No, I want to minus on Embodied Soul, because that thing's actually dangerous. Sunlit Middle is just mana fixing for them. Although if I do get rid of it, then they are kind of screwed off white. But they still get to activate Embodied Soul and kill Kara, so yeah, I'd rather keep Kara around. Okay, sure, just make Kara cheaper then. Feel free to do that. Although I guess at this point they kind of figured that I'll be able to play Kara if I draw it anyways, so there's no point in playing around it. How fast is this thing killing me? It's not that fast. It's only 4 a turn. So if I animate Crumbling Shrine and they Shine Dreams me, then that'd be really sad. Or if they just Event Horizon me, that's also possible. The only time I would be punished for animating Crumbling Shrine and them removing it is if I draw a Leyran Alpha exactly. Because anything else they can still play, and it'd be better to just make them waste a removal spell on a land instead of on a Leyran Alpha or whatever. Okay, it's only 3, okay. And animating Crumbling Shrine, do you want to kill it? Okay, they have a removal spell. If they want to kill it before on tap, then feel free to, because that means you're tapped out this turn. What would I be most sad about drawing right now? I Recall Forgotten Aeons. Tamel's also pretty sad, and anything that draws cards against Labor Ambitions is kind of sad. If they do have a Shine Dreams, that's not great, and they get to tutor too, so yep. Hopefully I draw it into something this turn. Car would be probably the best thing here. Yeah, please top that car. Wait, oh yeah, my opponent forgot that Shine Dreams command isn't asymmetrical. Or at least it's usually asymmetrical. But ironically, that means Car is not playable if I top deck it next turn. Yeah, my opponent, Sandrine makes each player who controls the most creatures sack a creature, so if both players control 1 creature each, then Sandrine makes both players sack. What can Ivy fetch off this thing? I mean, they can fetch a lot of things. The Children of Clouds looks pretty good here because they're almost at 6 lands. They're gonna get Chronicles of the Kitsune. I'm assuming they're gonna activate. They're just gonna play and activate the 5 mana mode next turn. Anyways, card would be really good. Leyran Alpha. Wow, this is like the exact card that, like the only single card that animating Crumbling Shrine would be bad against. And somehow I managed to draw it here. I mean, at least it's not Recall Forgotten Aeons, right? No, Recall would be still decent because it cracks a Labor, and then eventually I'll be able to coalesce it. But with Leyran Alpha, I just don't get to do anything this turn, which is really bad, because now they get to tap with Chronicles of the Kitsune. I mean, if they play Chronicles, then card gets cheaper, so I mean, there's silver linings and all that. Let's see. They're gonna crack Dark Bargain. Yeah, they're gonna play around Car, I guess. Or no, they're not really playing around Car. They're just doing whatever. Dark Bargain again. They're not slamming. Wait, they're not slamming the thing that they just tutored. Huh. I wonder why. I definitely would have slammed it right now. They're holding up another Shine Dream, but like here, Ivy understands that like I have 5 mana this turn. I just didn't play anything. Actually, no, I have Diveways. Like, yeah, I'm not really telegraphing anything, but like. This sort of does telegraph Leyran, but I can also telegraph a card, draw a card that I'm not playing into Labor for some reason. I mean, not for some reason, but because I don't want to play it into Labor, even though I have to crack it eventually. So, like, I would probably play any card draw I draw into Labor just to get off the board. Maybe they really are just hard playing around Car. Okay, now they finally play Chronicles. Well, now I get to play Leyran Alpha, and they don't have the Huli up to block one of them. Okay, yeah, K that. I have to K that. If they play end of days naming enchantment, then I am kind of screwed. Maybe that's something I should be worried about. Anyways, I'm fetching first because I don't want to draw lands now. I'd really like to top deck something useful, like Daigway. So I can Daigway on this. Actually, no, I won't be able to Daigway and clone Leyran. But I can Daigway and bomb the Chronicles. They have to spend 5 mana on that thing, right? And they are going to spend it on the. Surely they're gonna spend it on Chronicles, right? Like there's no reason not to Chronicles right now. And they don't have any more hand attack. So they're holding up removal, I think. Yeah, that's basically event. That's telegraphing Event Horizon. Maybe I do just Daigway this thing, and then get to Surveil X, drawing card, Cracked Labor. So I just get to Surveil a bunch. I mean, that's fine, right? Also, did I play a land this turn? No. Okay, so I get to Daigway the Chronicles and scry 4. That's probably good enough to get me into something to do next turn. And additionally, it plays around any sort of removal they're holding up. Okay, they're cracking Barren Desolation. In response to fetch? Huh, do I want to... No, I'd rather they activate Chronicles, or just... I'd rather I have more information before I Daigways. Maybe they don't activate Chronicles, but in that case, that's also probably good for me. The only time this would be bad for me is if they have exactly Children of the Clouds, right? They're gonna cycle it. Okay, sure. Actually, if they do have children, then that's bad for me. So I think I did just telegraph Daigways way too much there. With the way with how much time I spent thinking about it. Or maybe they just do fall for it. If they play Children of the Clouds here, what do? I just cry because I have no answer to children, right? Daigway actually answers children somewhat. Okay, sure. Come on, activate Chronicles. Activate Chronicles, please. They have Children of the Clouds. What do I do here? Yeah, I have to Daigway the Chronicles. Yeah, they're playing around this perfectly. Alright, sure. I misplayed, I guess. And they can counter it with one of their 4 spikes if they want to, which I'm alright with, because at least that's not going towards Leyran Alpha. Okay, yeah, I guess this play does clear out the way for Leyran Alpha in case they have any counter spells, right? Do they have any? They have 1 Invalidate, right? Yeah, a single Invalidate. They're going to Los. Counter birds. Okay, sure. That's not the worst thing that could have happened. Alright, so let's see. Crumbly's trying again. Is it worth... No, it's better for me to know what's on top. Well, I guess what's on top. Okay, so is this going to get through? They probably have Event Horizon for this thing. And, I mean, one of the will design to the birds. Let's see what they do. Actually, Sandring is also really good here. Because I'm forced to sack something, and then the birds kill another wolf, and now I only have a 4/4 and a 3/3 remaining. Again, I have a ton of good top decks. I'm assuming, or at least assuming that I don't draw more land or anything. The Forgotten Aeons are still in the deck, and I have enough mana to use the first one to crack the labor and then coalesce it later. They're thinking pretty hard though, so they don't have Shandring's command, because if they only had that, then they would have snapped it off by now. But they're thinking about what to tutor with it. I think it's more likely that they have a Children of the Clouds, and they're deciding whether they want the children or not. Okay, sure. They want to chomp, then feel free to. I guess they have a board wipe coming. Yeah, end of days kind of wrecks me. Nothing I can do about that. Maybe it was more correct to just play out Leyran Alpha last turn instead of pulling up Daigways. Maybe I was trying to get too clever. Because, like, if I did that, then they would be forced to board wipe. Like, what 2-mana trick did they have anyways? I don't think they had anything. Or maybe they're still holding it. But yeah, play Leyran, swing with everything. Some of them contact face, and then next turn they have to wipe. And then I get to pass turn holding up Daigway, except now I have creatures on board, so they're forced to do stuff. So they can't just pass a turn while I hold up Daigway and try to snipe something with Daigway. Alright, is this end of days? Face it on. Okay, well, that's actually, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't wipe my enchantments. It doesn't wipe their enchantments either. And, okay, it's either Sandrines or they just don't have anything and they're bluffing. Or, like, they literally have nothing, so they can't do anything. Tamio Minus draws 3 cards, and that goes right into Laybear. Okay, Tamio Minus animate Crumbling Shrine swing. Does that get me anywhere? Yes, Tamio Minus also lets me scry. I do play up Mysterious Cataract because that's more mana, right? Yes, I do need to play this thing out so I can... it can be tapped. I don't need to get extra mana this turn, right? Well, let me think. How much mana do I need? So Tamio plus... I have more than enough to animate Crumbling Shrine, so I don't need to do that. But I should probably, like, not sequence it like that. I already did, so, yeah. Assuming this resolves. So... yeah, go up to 4 loyalty, untap this, scry 1. This thing's useless, and the Mysterious Cataract Never mind. And make Crumbling Shrine and swing and see what they have. If they want to kill it, then feel free to, because I managed to create a land for a removal spell while I have enough lands. Or, no, I don't have nearly enough lands, but I have a Tammy in play, and I don't think they can really kill it that easily. Right? Well, I'm not sure, but something like that. And, okay, they do take, so that's good. Anyways, yeah, there we go. So I'm fetching the basic tap for blue thing later. That the Primary Resurgence Forest is going to be tapping for blue. So do you have a way to one-shot Tamio? I don't think you do. Okay, so yeah, they don't have anything to do end of turn. So yeah, turns out they don't have an Event Horizon, because if they had an Event Horizon, they would have played it by now, right? Or no, can they Event Horizon it? No, nobody controls enough stuff to Event Horizon Tamio. Or no, I do. Yeah, 3 things. Either they didn't notice the Primary Resurgence down here, or they don't have Event Horizon. If I top deck Recall Fire Aeons, I can recall it to crack Labor, and then Tamio Mines to start drawing. Although maybe it's better off just Tamio Plusing to make some mana and draw with the Coalesce part. How am I cracking Labor? Well, what options do I have for cracking that thing? Best option would be a Helene Plus, because that only draws 1 card. Okay, so they do have Sandrines, or no, they just top decked it, or else they wouldn't, because they could have played it earlier. They kill the land. I think they're gonna fetch out Children of the Clouds now. And that's really bad for me, because now Tamio's vulnerable to Children's, or they can just activate Chronicles for 5, and then make a Huli end of turn. That kills Tamio too. Well, there's Children of Clouds. Do I bring in Forbidden Treasure? I don't think I do, right? Like, there's just not enough valuable stuff to Forbidden Treasure. Or maybe there is. They're just gonna Children's now? No, they're gonna Descent. Yeah, makes sense. Well, that means Tamio survives for 1 more turn, so I can either Mines her to draw some cards, or plus her to do what? Well, now I do need to Midlife Matter. I'll assume it doesn't, because I don't like think about that. Okay, so Tamio minus Tamio plus, right? Yeah. Or no, the Tamio minus, crack the Labor, Tamio minus again, draw some cards. That feels really bad, but that's kind of necessary right now, so I'll do that. Go to Labor, and yeah, play Tamio number 2, and Tamio minus is again to draw 3 cards finally. What do I get? Oh, Car. Can I Car now? What? I mean, Car dies to Huli, though. I mean, everything dies to Huli. Alright, I still have to discard. Ah, okay, yeah, I just screwed up the game state. Yeah, time for a judge call. Alright, that's embarrassing. So basically, these guys go back. This guy is supposed to be at 2 counters, and I just draw into Labor and then discard Tamio. So, yeah, not a very good play there. I mean, there's still a way for me to come back from this, because I can top deck. My deck can't just top deck stuff, like Chart of Vast, and their clock isn't too fast. But it's definitely not what I wanted to happen. So what's my outs? Yeah, so top decking Chart of Vast does get me a bunch of cards. That could get me there. Top decking Layer and Alpha forced them to have a wipe. Although Huli there is, yeah, it's not great. I mean, if Layer and Alpha comes down, Huli can't really afford to attack anymore, right? Well, this card is not very useful now, because, I mean, I kill the Descent, and then Huli's still there, it kills Car. Maybe a Car flips with Layer and Alpha. I mean, Car flipping Layer and Alpha would be really good. Like, yeah, definitely should have +1 Tamio instead. Actually, I probably should have drawn before. Yeah, I should have drawn my card since I already scryed Tamio before I fetched. Man, I'm playing super badly today. Like, I barely won the first game. So I almost threw the first game, basically. The Monument down too. I mean, they have Children in hand, Monument down. They have Inviolability. And I don't have much in the way of anything. Hopefully, into Tamio, okay, good. So that gains me some life, or prevents me from losing some life. So man, next turn. That's the thing at bottom of Tamio, isn't it? I keep it in hand. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't keep this in hand. No point in keeping lands in hand, because this deck's mana hungry as hell. And maybe that just kills me. 8 birds, yeah, that kills me. Okay, sure. So time to take it to game 3. Do I want Forbidden Treasures in now? I mean, that Dagway was kind of embarrassing. It does crack Labor, but Dagway just, like, what's it actually hit? Yeah, I'll take it out. Maybe they already boarded out all of their big enchantments, or they don't need the big enchantments to win. I'll board in 2 Forbidden Treasures. I mean, if I snag Chandrine off Forbidden Treasure, that's pretty fun. Problem is that half the deck doesn't get hit by Forbidden Treasure. Like, a decent chunk of the deck does get hit by it, so maybe it is worth it. Leaving some pretty important cards like board wipes. If I can play down some guys and then hold up a Forbidden Treasure, although if the guys are Log of Recluses, then I can't really afford to hold up Forbidden Treasure. Maybe if I get some Planeswalkers down and then hold up Forbidden Treasure, then it gets there. I'm not super happy with my boarding choices, but, let's go. And I'm gonna play this time, so that's a lot better for me. And okay, that's not the hand I want. This is a keepable hand. I get... No, I don't, right? Oh, yes, I do get Helene, Hell Scouter, and Chartavast. I can't keep it like... Okay, so do I bomb Chartavast or do I bomb Helene? So what's the curve looking like here? Turn 1, Primary Surgeons. Turn 2, Pearl Scouter onto the same land. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll be skipping Helene. If I get discarded, then it's really bad, but Chartavast is really tempting. So yes, I'll bomb Helene here, despite Helene probably being a decent card in this matchup. And I'm just going to go full on game plan of trying to turbo out Chartavast and then win from getting a bunch of card advantage. Like, hopefully Chartavast doesn't whiff. If it whiffs, then I'm really sad. I mean, post board, my mana values are a lot more distributed, so it's less likely to whiff. Okay, we both kept. I mean, they don't have any 1-mana discard, so the earliest they can hand attack me is turn 2, which is after I play Pelscar and they snag Chartavast, and I'm really sad. But maybe I can top deck something. I can't. My deck can always top deck something. And if Chartavast does go through and I don't whiff on it, then I have a good... I mean, I have a pretty good game coming along. Dark Bargain again, sure. Alright, let's see what I draw. More lands is not what I want right now, but I have to make do with that. And I mean, that is a 4/4 with a lot of ramp coming up. I mean, that is something that I have to worry about. If they deal with this thing, then they're not dealing with Chartavast. If they discard Chartavast, then they can deal with this thing later because it's actually not that threatening as a 4/4. So I'm just hoping they have removal instead of hand. Okay, good. They don't have hand attack. Good. In fact, they're probably second land, and that's why they attack Dark Bargain first. That means I get to Chartavast and draw a bunch of cards, hopefully. Actually, it's like a repeat of game 1, where my opponent just spends the early turns playing Dark Bargains and drawing cards, and then I spend the early turns ramping into some big payoff. Hopefully this time I won't throw away the game. Or at least almost throw away the game. AdmiralIvy is okay, they have to discard the hand size, right? Huh, interesting. Did they just not have any other plays that they could play to not discard the hand size? Are they that stuck on lands right now? No, they're clearly not, because they discarded land, and they're discarding Monument. Yeah, I guess it's not important because... Oh, okay, can I just ramp into Car next? Huh. It costs 7, okay. I mean, probably have Car line up pretty soon. And since they're tapped out, no point in attacking first without knowing what I'm going to draw off chart. So yeah, time to Chartavast. Let's see what I get. Another Chartavast for insurance. Leiran or Helene? Helene is less likely, especially since I bombed 2 of them already, so yes, I'll take the only 4 drop in my deck. Primary Resurgence or Tamio. 3 drops are more contested, so I'll take the 1 drop. Logger, Recluse, or Forbidden Treasure. Okay, I'll take the 2 drop here. I mean, no brainer. Here I'll take the 3 drop. And okay, good. I get another Leiran, so I get to keep going. I'm assuming I'm gonna eventually hit a wall soon. I mean, another Chartavast, but I haven't taken a land yet, so I get to take the land here. I'll take Crumbling Shrine I'll take Wayfarer's Shrine because I don't really need Crumbling Shrine right now. Okay, finally. I've hit the limit, and I think I take Leiran Alpha here, right? Because I have Leiran Alphas coming down soon, and they can't beat a bunch of Leiran Alphas coming down all in a row. And let's see how many cards I drew off that. 10. I'm at 10 cards already. Wonderful. What do I even discard here? Well, next turn I'm playing Leiran Alpha, right? So I should discard anything that doesn't help me with that. So discard Recall. Do I need Forbidden Treasure? And Forbidden Treasure is kind of good after Leiran comes down. Or it's not going to come down. By the time Car comes down, Leiran's have already ended the game, or my opponent has already recovered. And Helene, maybe? No, do I need a second chart? I don't think I need Helene. My game plan here is to just keep Leiraning, right? Do I have enough to Forest plus Primal next? Yeah, I do. So, yeah, if the Leiran plan doesn't work out, I'm just going to Chartavast again. And next time I play Forest, enchant 1, 2, or... Yeah, this thing's mana neutral, so yes, I get to play Forest and then Primal into Leiran, and I don't know what my opponent can do about that. They can Shine Rune's Command, but I'll just sack one of the Wolves and then still whack them. I think opponent just got off to a really slow start, and then, yeah, this deck did what it does best, which is ramp super hard into Chartavast into whatever the hell this hand is. The only out for them is Flesh to Rot, and that's not even a great out because Hellscour is going to get hit in and put a counter on it, so that's going to survive a Flesh to Rot. So is the Leiran itself. Yeah, I don't see how Ivy's going to get out of this. They sack Dark Bog. Yeah, they're just desperately digging for an answer to the Leirans that are coming down soon. Does Event Horizon do anything? Actually, Event Horizon would be good because it kills my land enchants, which means I don't get to play Leirans next turn. Instead, I'll just have to Primal into Forbidden Treasure, I guess. I still get to whack with Pale Scouter again. I mean, do they have Event Horizon in hand? They have 8 cards, so it's pretty likely for them to have at least 1, right? How many copies do they run? 2 copies. Huh, okay, never mind then. What else would be really good for them? Invalidate would be really good for them because now they get to stop one of my Leyrans, and then Impel Scar still gets whack in, but now they get to tap with 4 mana, so they can drop, I guess, Flesh Rot or something. Or no, they Labor Ambitions and snag the other Leyran. You're gonna concede here. Okay, I guess they have nothing against the 2 Leyran alphas that are coming down turn after turn. Yeah, I guess it's kind of unfortunate that opponent couldn't really do much this game. I guess that's just what happens when you play a slow deck that opens with a slow start against a deck that has the ability to do these sorts of starts, where you ramp up to 5 mana on turn 3 and then draw 7 cards, and then have 2 Leyrans lined up. But yeah, so that's my 3rd win, so that means I'm making it to top 8, and the 4th round's just gonna be whatever. I mean, so that just gets me closer to my 4-peat. If I get a 4-peat, I'll be very happy. Also, if I win, then first of all, I know exactly what card I'm gonna promo and what art I'm gonna promo it with, so at least I won't have to think as hard about that. And anyways, yeah, see you in the next game.